All right, y'all. So yesterday was the Xbox business update where they talked about all the rumors that were going around about them moving fully third party, moving a lot of their games over to PlayStation in the future, maybe even the Switch. They kind of cleared up a lot of, or well, it was really just kind of one rumor, but they cleared up those rumors. Today we're going to talk a little bit about what they said. I'm not going to go over every single detail. I don't really think it's necessary. So this probably won't be a long video. But yeah, let's talk about it. First things first, obviously, the rumors behind them moving third party, moving their games to PlayStation. Some of the rumored games was Starfield. There were some reports of Halo Infinite, Master Chief Collection, Gears of War. They didn't really say that that wasn't going to happen, but they did kind of shoot that down with saying that those games aren't coming because Starfield and Indiana Jones were asked if those were any of two of the four games moving over. And he said, Phil Spencer said no. The four games, he didn't say them, but I believe they're kind of out there due to somebody else at Xbox who mentioned it. Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, no idea what that is. Grounded and Sea of Thieves. I mean, to me, all these games make sense. I didn't even know Hi-Fi Rush was Xbox exclusive until these rumors came out. Sea of Thieves, I'm surprised it hasn't gone to PlayStation sooner. The other two, why not? Now, Phil Spencer did mention that this is, they're starting with these smaller games and they're kind of testing things out. This is something that will probably happen again, so don't freak out about it or don't think it's not going to happen again. It's going to happen again. They're trying to reach as many players as possible. They're trying to get new players, expand. It's a business. That's really what this whole entire call was about, was the Xbox, the business side of it. How can they make more money? How can they continue to grow? They talked a lot about cross-play, cross-save, cross-progression, which, I mean, to me, to any gamer, honestly, I feel like should be important, especially in just today's day and age of gaming. Cross-play is necessary, not just between Xbox and PC, but between all consoles, and I'm going to say it, but excluding the Switch, just because the Switch and the capabilities it has is not where it needs to be with Xbox and PlayStation. So at least crossplay between Xbox and PlayStation and PC. That's what they're going for. I think he didn't really say PlayStation, but probably definitely between PC and Xbox. But you get the point. I said it a little bit, but they're trying to expand their player base and also bring in new players. They talked about it a lot, getting games for people to play everywhere. PC, Xbox, mobile. They want to expand where you play, be able to play anywhere and everywhere with any of your friends, however you want to play. They emphasize that a lot. They also use the word investors a lot. Like I said, this was a business update. This was actually stuff that was already said on their shareholders meeting or business call, whatever you want to call it. So none of this is new news. It was just everything was blown way out of proportion. These rumors just took the internet by storm and everybody ran with them, which, I mean, that's what we did. So, I don't think I kind of took them like this was true. We were waiting to see, but I definitely kind of gave my outlook on how I think things would look in the future for Xbox if it was true. There were two other things one other thing they mentioned that was very interesting to me that I never realized. With their acquisition of Activision, Blizzard, and Bethesda, they're the largest publisher on mobile, Microsoft Xbox, and the largest publisher on PlayStation, which, to be the largest publisher on a rival system is insane. They also talked about kind of the future of Game Pass and backwards compatibility. Backwards compatibility is going to be a thing with Xbox that they emphasize strongly on. Not just, Series X to Xbox One, but like 360 OG Xbox, they really want their players to be able to play any and all games that they've owned in the past, currently owned, whatever. That's which is good. I mean, I think that's a big thing. I think it's something that Sony doesn't really do a great job on. I mean, especially with they mentioned with the cloud saves, being able to have your old saves and not have to rely on doing something new, which most likely you're gonna go back and replay the game. But let's say you play it, put it down, new generation system comes out, you want to be able to pick up that same save at some point, maybe with playing the game in a higher resolution, whatever it is, without having to start all over. So I think the backwards compatibility is pretty big. With the Game Pass, they mentioned that to me it sounded like they said all new games that come out that they are from companies they own, first party, Activision, Blizzard, Bethesda, will come to Game Pass day one for both PC and console. Diablo 4 is coming to Game Pass on March 28th. It's obviously not day one, but moving forward, that's kind of what they made it sound like it's going to be like, which is good. I mean, Game Pass is still amazing for Xbox. It's if you have an Xbox and you don't have Game Pass, you're honestly just missing out on the best part of Xbox, which endless games, new games get added, games that you can try out and play. I mean, I still to this day, Lies of P, played it through Game Pass. Absolute banger. Absolute banger. Now that was really that's just a short summary of what they talked about. For my thoughts, there was one thing that I did kind of agree with where Phil Spencer said within 5 to 10 years, he expects console exclusives, or not just console exclusives, but one system exclusivity will kind of fizzle out in 5 to 10 years. And I do kind of agree, because it's kind of already happening. More so with like Xbox putting their games on PC, Sony Helldivers coming to PC. Who knows if we'll see a day one release of like God of War, Last of Us, one of their major titles, Wolverine. Who knows if we'll see a day one release for that on PC, but I do kind of agree that 5 to 10 years, I would say at most 10 years, we'll probably still have the two consoles, but it will definitely be a play wherever you want. I don't think those games necessarily would be on the rival systems, but if you got a PC, play it. Maybe at some point it'll be like, all right, we've kind of faded away from the whole exclusive stuff. Let's slowly bring over Gears to PlayStation, slowly bring God of War to Xbox. This is just, kind of just talking about what Phil was saying, going off of what he was saying. It could happen, it could not, but I do think it is something that is coming. Again, the rumors were just blown way out of proportion. I think this call was geared towards the investors for sure, because again, the word investors was used a lot. Players was used a lot as well, but when you use those words, you know who they're talking to. But as an Xbox fan, you should be happy with the news that came out. If you were worried about your exclusive games like Halo and stuff moving to PlayStation, it's all good. Don't trip. Now, I am worried about Xbox in terms of like the next generation of consoles, which they are gonna do, of course. He did mention that. That's where I'm worried. They talked about the expansion, expanding their player base and bringing in new players. I think that's where things are a problem, is bringing in new players. Maybe not of a younger age, which I guess is probably the target audience. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but you gotta make good games, man. You gotta have, right now how things are, you gotta have good first party games to get people to want to buy that system. Because why else would you buy it? Game Pass, I mean, it is good, but to be honest, I have both. I still think Sony has a better offer of games that are playable on both, and they're exclusives. you're missing out on the Xbox exclusives, but you ain't missing out on much. You're really not, because the Xbox exclusive games are dead. We'll see how things go with, the rest of this console lifespan generation, and really just how things go since they've acquired these companies. Bethesda, which, I mean, Starfield was ass, but the whole Activision Blizzard, let's see where they go with kind of whatever else they're gonna do. I mean, they do have good things going with all the game preview and stuff, which give developers a lot more freedom than they probably would have elsewhere. But it seems like Xbox they're trying to build a monopoly around console gaming with being, the whole play everywhere, anywhere, expanding player base. Kind of like how Valve really runs the PC world. That's what Xbox is trying to do with the console world. Obviously, you have Epic Games, Ubisoft, all these other platforms. Epic Games really being the main rival because Ubisoft is Ubisoft Games, Blizzard is Blizzard Games, but it's kind of what Xbox is trying to move to, which is smart. Again, business, money, you need to grow if you want to keep making games, making hardware, whatever. So this wasn't meant to be a long call. It was meant to really just be a short summary of the call, what I thought was important as an Xbox player, what you should kind of be prepared for if you were thinking about swapping out your system from the rumors. But also, obviously, we get our information from other sources, but rumors are rumors. You gotta wait till what the company says, and who knows, maybe them other games do come further down the road, but as of right now, they are not going to PlayStation. And the internet just blew this shit way out of proportion. So yeah, if you watched the call, I'd like to know your thoughts kind of on what you thought of it. If you thought it was a good conversation, bad conversation. What do you think the future of Xbox looks like? Again, Xbox One was bad. The Series XS console generation might be a little bit better. Really just because of Game Pass. I mean, these acquisitions might pick things up, but I'd like to see where you think the future of Xbox is headed with what they said and kind of how things are shaping to look for the next console generation in 5 or so years. I really don't, maybe not that long, who knows. It's crazy to think these systems have been out for as long as they were just because of COVID and PlayStation couldn't even buy one. You couldn't find one. You could find an Xbox, you couldn't find a PlayStation. But yeah, man, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Take it easy, y'all. Peace.